Now we will see the other types of tropism. We have already seen phototropism, but if you remember, there were 4 types of tropism: phototropism, gravitropism, chemotropism, and hydrotropism. We have studied already about phototropism, and now it's time for gravitropism. Now, what is gravitropism? Gravi means what? Gravity. So, root system of plant respond to the stimulus of gravity. The movement of the root towards the gravity. It's called as gravitropism. You can see the roots moving towards the gravity. Next example, hydrotropism. Hydro means what? Water. So movement of roots towards the water is called as hydrotropism. We can see here clearly the roots are moving towards the water. Don't confuse between gravitropism and hydrotropism. Gravitropism is the movement because of the gravity, and hydrotropism is the movement towards the water. When they both are present, the roots will prefer hydrotropism because they are moving towards gravity in search of the water. So hydrotropism and gravitropism. And the last one, which is chemotropism. Wow, a beautiful flower in front of you. As you all know, the name is hibiscus, shoe flower. There is one female reproductive part which is called as gynoecium, and the male reproductive part called as androecium. Stamen and carpels and the petals. Let's see how chemotropism is happening here. Now, as soon as this plant is reproducing, there is pollen grain falling on the stigma of the plant. Now, as soon as the pollen grains, they fall on the stigma, because of this, there is a response in the ovule, which is the female part of the plant. And in the female part, there is a secretion of chemical. Because of the pollen grain, a chemical is secreted from the ovule. And as soon as the chemical is secreted, a pollen tube generates from the stigma towards the ovule in response to the chemical. So now I think now you can understand. There is a growth of a pollen tube in response to the chemical which is secreted by the ovule in response to the pollen grain. Very beautiful example of chemotropism, because here we can clearly see the growth because of a chemical which is secreted by the ovule. Best example of chemotropism is this, because there is a growth of pollen tube towards the ovules.